So you're in that mood where you're all ready to be healthy and you're looking into doing juicing and you're ready to buy a juicer. But you're like, what kind of juicer should I buy? What's the difference between the juicers? So in this video, I'm going to talk about one, what are the different types of juicers that are out there? Two, what are the pros and cons of each one of those types of juicers? And then at the end of my video, I will discuss where you could buy your juicer for a really low price. So make sure to stay at the end of this video. Hi, I am Dr. LeGrand. I am a family doctor out in the state of Washington, where I primarily focus practicing holistic medicine and conventional medicine, bringing them together to help my patients with their conditions. Without further ado, welcome to another video. So when it comes to looking at different types of juicers, when you're trying to investigate, let's go over some of the different types of juicers. The first type of juicer, which is a very common one, is the centrifugal juicer. This type of juicer you'll probably see in advertised for a lot, but it's typically what it is a fast processing juicer. You can actually juice with it real fast. It has just really quick blades that you can actually blend your juices really fast. Then the other type is what we call the mastication type of juicer. This is where what it's doing, it's grinding up the vegetables and fruits to be able to, what we essentially, if you were to masticate, chew and chew and chew, just like a cow, is chewing that down and then cold pressing it into a juice. A similar juicer you can also get that is similar to the masticating juicer is the triturating juicer. And this, what it does, it actually has two grind blades that are together, and those two grind blades are slowly what they consider as grinding the juice and then pressing it. And the last type of juicer is the hydraulic press juicer. And essentially what that's doing is it's grinding down the vegetables into a bag, and then you cold press it, you actually press it to get nice refined juice. So now that we know all the different types of juicers that are out there, let's look at the pros and cons of each one. So the first juicer is the centrifugal juicer, and the pros on the centrifugal juicer is that it's really easy to clean, it's really fast to juice your vegetables and your fruits, especially if you're in a hurry and on a go. And the other great benefit of it is that it's more affordable for people. It's one of the lower price ones. However, there is some more expensive ones that are out there if you're looking for more of an expensive centrifugal juicer. The cons of the centrifugal juicer is because it's blending up really fast, it pushes a lot of air into the juice, and so the juice becomes more oxidized over time. And so the shelf life for your juice, if you want to store it, is not so good. The other downfall of the centrifugal juicer is that it typically will not press out all the juice out of your fruits and vegetables, so you don't get all the nutrients and enzymes and minerals from the vegetables and juice that you're trying to get with a centrifugal juicer. And the other con of the centrifugal juicer is that it typically can't juice leafy greens, just because it's spinning so fast and it really kind of spits it out the other end, and you don't get so much of the nutrients from the leafy greens. It's better for like carrot juice, beet juice, apples, celery, a lot of the more stuff that are a little more compact than leafy greens. So the centrifugal juicer, it's great. It's actually what I use because I'm always quick, ready to go, and I'm usually juicing something that I'm going to have there that day. I don't typically store my juice because, again, it's really easy to clean, so usually people will tend to use it more often than some of the other juicers that are a little bit more messy. But it's something I personally use for when I want to do juicing on a daily basis. The next juicer is the mastication juicer. Now, I've been experienced a lot of different types of juicers. I remember this one growing up. I lived up on a farm, and during the harvesting season, because we grew a lot of apples, we'd make a lot of apple juice. And I remember working with this type of juicer and how messy it can be, but there is a lot of great benefits to this juicer. So there is some other benefits to the mastication juicer, and the benefit of this is, for one, the oxidation, the air being pushed into the fruits and vegetables is very low, because what it's doing essentially, it's just grinding it down and then doing a cold press to get the juice, versus spinning real fast, pushing a lot of air into the vegetable juice or the fruit juice that you're trying to do. So your shelf life for the juice that you make, you can store it for a long time. So back on the farm when we would actually be making these apple juice and canning it, you can store it for a very long time and still have a lot of great benefit from it because it's not oxidizing it so much. So with that in mind, you can see that the nutrients and enzymes that you can extract from the juice is better than the centrifugal type of juicer. And the other great benefits from it is you can actually use leafy greens for this, other than the centrifugal juicer, but you can also even use it for making paste, such as like peanut butter or even baby food. That's great though, so it has those two different options for that. The cons of the masticating juicer is that, like I said before, growing up, I hated cleaning that thing. Had so many different parts, and then of course the grinder was really hard you'd have to really scrub it down, and then of course the strainer you have to really scrub down. So it wasn't my favorite thing to clean up, but I could see the health benefits that come from it, and that's why my parents like it. The one that we grew up with was the Champion. It's a very common juicer that is out there, but with that, you know, the mess that you have to kind of clean from it. The other con is that it can be a little bit more pricey than the centrifugal juicer. So as far as the triturating juicer, it's pretty similar to the masticating juicer, a lot of the same kind of benefits, the pros to it, but a little bit more benefit to it is it's actually grinding it slower, so it does a grinding process with the two blades, and so it's a slower process, so there might be a possibility of it a little bit less air being pushed into the vegetables and fruits that you're trying to make with the fruit juice. So that could be a benefit from that a little bit than the masticating juicer. But the other issue, the cons to it is really an expensive juicer. So not everybody is there to be able to afford that type of juicer, and it is also messy to clean. The other downfall of it, because it's a slow grinding process, is that you might actually have to cut up your carrots, beets, anything that's actually really hard and big, versus the masticating juicer, you don't typically have to cut it down so much. So the last juicer, the hydraulic juicer, is a great juicer, and the benefit of doing the hydraulic juicer is when it's grinding down that food, the vegetables and juices, into a bag and then pressing it, you can imagine that the oxidation is actually at the lowest. It has the lowest amount of air being pushed into the juice, so the shelf life for your juice is going to be the longest with a hydraulic juicer. The downside of this is that for me, I used to actually help out somebody that actually used this type of juicer. I was kind of their personal chef, and they could afford this type of juicer. So that's one other con, is that it is a very expensive juicer. Most people do not have this juicer, but it also can be extremely messy. When I was actually making these juices, because when you are actually putting it in a bag, you have to fold it a particular way, and then you're pressing it down. There was one time where I was pressing it, actually a couple times, not even just one time, actually happened several times, where when it presses down, it could actually explode and the bag can open and can get all over your kitchen. So that was not fun, having to deal with that. That can just leave a mess and take an hour of your time just cleaning that up. I mean, maybe I just wasn't really good at it at that time, but it can cause a big mess. But even if you don't experience that, it could be even still messy to have to clean up. So if you're somebody that does not have the time, this type of juicer is not going to be the best. And of course, it's really expensive. But if you really want the best nutritional benefits from it, it is the best one because it is going to also have a lot more flavor, more nutrients, and enzymes and minerals because of the pressing. You can imagine that's why a lot of companies use presser juicers, because they're going to get the most value from that. But if you're somebody that's really just wants to go quick on the go, going with a centrifugal juicer is going to be your best option, especially if you're just trying to get a juice for the day. But if you want to store juice for a long time, doing something like the masticating juicer or even the hydraulic press juicer, if you want to be able to afford something like that. Okay, so where can you actually buy an affordable juicer? I tell all my patients, if you're going to get into juicing, before you decide to go buy an expensive juicer, go online and buy a high-price centrifugal juicer or masticating juicer. Before you do that, the best place to go, and I see juicers all the time here, Goodwill. Goodwill is a great place. I love Goodwill. You might be thinking, that's gross, you know, used. you think about it. And if you know anybody who's done, maybe tempted to do juicing, they do it for maybe a couple weeks and then they stop. And guess what happens to their juicer? It just sits up there in their cupboard, just sits there. And then they finally just give it to Goodwill. So it's hardly even been used, and it's great condition. I mean, that's where I've been buying my juicers. I got I think it was a Breville juicer. It was like about almost a $300 juicer, and I bought it for 25 bucks at Goodwill. And it's in great condition. So Goodwill, if you don't have a Goodwill, you can go to Value Village or any kind of secondhand stores. Check around, look for that. Go, especially if you're a first-time juicer, try with that first. If you really want to get into juicing and really want to get a better type of juicer, like a hydraulic juicer or a masticating juicer, then maybe invest in looking and buying a juicer online or at a store. But first go to Goodwill, Value Village. They're great places just to get your juicer and just save you money. Okay, so that is it on about juicing. If you like this video, give us a big thumbs up. Go ahead and share with your family and friends, especially people if you know who are juicing or thinking about juicing. And then if you have any questions about the juicers, go ahead and leave it in the comment section below. And then if you really want more information about juicing, if you want me to create some more videos, some maybe recipes about juicing, go leave that in the comment section below. Let me know, and then I will create some more of those videos. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button over here. And I will leave also some other videos about juicing and detoxification over here. And then if you're really interested in fasting type videos, go ahead and click over here. So until next time, thank you for watching. This is Dr. LeGrand out. Thanks. Bye.